Hey everybody, I am Haley Gray and I'm the group owner of the Women's Entrepreneur Network. And I am also the owner of Fiercely Marketing, which is a small boutique digital marketing agency where we do websites, social media, ads, funnels, all of the digital marketing stuff, including SEO and all the fun stuff that you might think of as far as digital marketing. If you are catching this on the live, give me a hashtag live. If you are catching this on the replay, give me a hashtag replay and let me know that you are out there. I hope that you have had a phenomenal weekend. I have been getting kids ready and packed to go back to school. My younger daughter, who is 19, is moving into her first apartment. And my younger son, who is 13, is going to be starting the 8th grade, and he's going to a military school up in Virginia. So lots of washing and packing and hauling stuff all over the place. So let me know how your business is going. Hey, Beth, good to see you. I am so happy to see you tonight. I wanted to talk to you guys about a subject that is near and dear to my heart because I have seen a lot of ads. I'm sure that you guys have seen all of the ClickFunnels ads and you guys see all of this stuff talking about, that mythical funnel where you make money in your sleep and you sell courses or ebooks or whatever it is, coaching programs and the whole 9 yards. And, it's this whole one funnel away, one magic funnel. I mean, it's all of this kind of stuff. And, what I'm seeing for a lot of business owners, maybe not 100% of people, is that is almost bullshit. Sorry, guys. It is really challenging because, it gets really frustrating to me because I see this promise of if you create this funnel and if you tweak it just right and you stand on your head and you click your heels and you do all of the right things, suddenly you're going to be a bajillionaire. And to some extent, that is true. But the problem is that what they're not telling you is that the amount of copy you end up writing, the amount of testing that you end up doing on your funnel and doing A/B testing of your pages. So you create multiple versions of your funnel. And then you create multiple versions of each of your pages, of your emails. You test every single piece of the entire process. Yes, you can build an amazing converting funnel and it can work wonders for you. But the amount of money, the amount of effort that most small business owners have to put into it is somewhere in the order of $15,000 to $20,000 for starters to get a funnel that actually works and converts for them. And I don't know about you, but most small business owners, even somebody who's making, 6 figures a year, making over $100,000 a year, doesn't just have $15,000 to $20,000 to drop into a funnel. And that's part of why I say this whole thing is BS, because in order to get a competent Facebook manager and to get, somebody who is good at designing funnels and somebody who can do this and somebody who can do that, by the amount of time you do all the testing and advertising and everything else, it gets very, very expensive unless you're willing to take 1,000,000 hours of your own time to do the testing. And that's the part that to me is deceptive about this, because there are so many other faster, easier, cheaper ways to get clients, even for clients into the mid 6 figures. And I'm talking clients making $500,000 a year, than some of these really crazy funnels where you see this, okay, so you opt into this $6 item and then we upsell you to this and then we tweak it to that and then we go to the other. It can take a while to see a multiple return on investment. It can take 3 to 6 months before you really start to see any numbers coming in whatsoever and building your list and starting to begin to make money. And then once you've started to get people coming in, then you're having to do things like emailing your list. You're having to do things and really, honestly, feed the beast. You're having to feed your social media accounts because doing just ads and doing just the funnel in a vacuum is not effective. And, I see that. And I feel bad for a lot of small business owners because it's not generating the results that they need to see in their businesses. And, I feel like it's this dream, this idea that gets sold to small business owners. Whether you're making $5,000 a month or $100,000 a month, a lot of times you're getting sold this crazy idea that you can just make money on autopilot. And yes, you can just make money on autopilot if you make the appropriate time, effort, energy, money investment into it, or if you have a big enough following. But most of us, even business owners to the mid six figures, don't have a large enough following to really grow our businesses. We don't have enough people who are going to be there that are going to, know who we are, who are going to be willing to buy from us, who are going to make those investments to make it worth the numbers that you're going to have in order to make a funnel really, really profitable early on. Now, what can you do to kind of get around this? Well, you start following and building your following. There's a really good book out there called 1 Million Followers by Brendan Kane. So it's not just me telling you this. Followers and engagement does lead to sales. So if people start to know who you are and you start to build that following and you start to build that engagement and people start to recognize your face and who you are and all of that, it does lead to better, faster conversions. If you are very much into A/B testing. So one of the things that we do a ton, hey, Lawson DeCanitra, good to see you. If you are willing to do A/B testing, and so what does A/B testing mean? A/B testing is when you are doing, a test of 2 different versions, 3 different versions, 5 different versions of your landing pages, and you're doing 10 different versions of your ads, and you do really, really, extensive testing of the imagery that you're using for your ads. That will really help your ads in general with performing, right? So you're trying a lot of different combinations, a lot of different permutations, and you're building up that funnel. Unfortunately, what I see from most business owners is that they give up before they find that right funnel, before they find that one right set of combinations and permutations that's going to start to work for them in their business. And why do I say that? Well, because I've seen hundreds of people who have built some of these really crazy funnels that then don't turn around and generate leads, that don't turn around and generate good clients. So what do you do instead? Well, I'm a big believer in obviously I use social media a lot. I'm a big believer in talking to people. I'm a big believer in connecting with people. Honestly, if you do, like I said earlier, between 5 and 10 get to know you calls a week, you're going to see amazing results. But just doing 1 or 2 a week will dramatically improve the number of clients that you have in your business. Doing ads strategically, getting people into the right challenges or into the right workshops, that works really well because people get to know, like, and trust you. Because if they can see you, if they can see your face, if they can connect with you, if they can feel connected, hey there, welcome from Monaco. I am in North Carolina. You're going to see much better results out of your advertising dollars and out of your advertising budget. I have personally found lately that challenges work really well. Workshops work extremely well for growing your list, for getting people in front of you, and for getting people to convert to you at a reasonable rate. And, for me, what I'm seeing for clients, not just myself, but for my clients as well, is that if you are looking for good rates of conversion, if you're looking at getting people into your programs, that's a really good place to start. I usually recommend that people start with their higher end packages and offerings. and do their workshops, do their challenges. And then once you've got that and you've got some money in the bank, then you can look at doing all of the crazy testing, all of the investing, all of the A/B testing that goes into building a funnel. This notion that most people are going to be able to hack into and build a 7-figure funnel out of the gate is not very realistic. Some people do it, 0.01% of people manage to do it. I prefer to go with something that more people are going to manage to achieve, that more businesses are going to reliably be able to achieve, that you're going to get better results, that you're going to see more money sooner and faster and easier without dumping $5, $10, $15, $20,000 down the drain, testing a funnel, testing ads, testing all kinds of different software in order to get a return on your investment. I'm a big believer in seeing clients make money in 30 to 60 days, not 6 months from now, not, 6 months of a funnel build and then, another 6 months of testing that funnel. So when we think about that, that's what I really, really recommend for people is start with a workshop, start with a challenge. And for me, a challenge is usually really like a 5-day workshop. And then get people in, get them to know you, build a relationship with them, build those connections. And then lo and behold, you're going to see a much higher conversion rate that's going to come out of it. So let me know what questions you guys have. I hope that you are having a really, really phenomenal weekend. I know that I am a bit late because, well, kids. And I hope that you guys take care and that you have a wonderful night. Let me know what questions y'all are having. There is one last thing that I want to do that I do every Sunday night. And that is that I'm going to do a card pull for y'all. So if you are watching, you can tell me top or bottom. And if you don't tell me either one, then I'm going to assume top. And what I'm going to do is do a card pull off of my deck. And I have a card deck called the Love Your Inner Goddess. And this is just for inspiration for the week. This is not intended to be, anything that you should be making any major life changes on, right? So what we have are my cards, and they're super pretty, I think, honestly. I just love the artwork on these because they are just so pretty. And Beth says top, please. Hey, Beth, good to see you. I am so happy to have you on tonight. So we're going to go top, please. So y'all think about what you want to have happen in the week ahead. And this will be a little bit of inspiration. And I honestly find that if I read any of these cards, they're just really wonderful inspiration for me. So it's always helpful to me to read these. And I'm stirring and I'm swapping my cards around. And Adrian says top. Hey, Adrian. So, okay, I have my top card and I'm going to pull it. Oh, and I'm going to show you, it's this one. And what's really funny is I've been shuffling the cards the whole time. So this one really, really wanted to be pulled tonight, which is really interesting to me because I've never pulled this particular card before, and it is Psyche. I hope that you guys can see her. Let me see if I can click over here. So there you go. This is Psyche, number 37. And this is the Love Your Inner Goddess book by Elena Fairchild. And let's see what she says. So here you go. Here's the Psyche. Love this card, right? You are going to find the exact help that you need at the exact time that you need it. You have the ability to attract resources and even to create something out of apparently nothing. Don't put your focus or your faith in the material world and its seemingly endless obstacles and difficulties. Direct your attention and your trust towards our all-powerful and unconditionally loving universe, which is your friend and teacher. When you do this, you empower the universe to help you, and it really wants to in the most amazing ways. So I hope that this is a wonderful reminder to you. I think it's a great reminder to me right now as I am getting ready to send 2 of my kiddos off and away to school. And I am really not sure how this whole school thing is going to be working tonight or this year. It's definitely a really uncertain time. in our country and in our world. Beth, you needed to hear this. Yeah, me too. It's kind of one of those things of, let go and let God take care of things. I love the messaging. I think that it is so incredibly powerful. So if you guys would like to learn more about sales funnels and about setting up sales funnels that actually work, workshops and webinars that actually work, schedule a call with me. I would love to talk to you. I think that there is a time and place. If I can type, it will really help. And what is important is that, know that, there is a time and a place for every single type of marketing technique. And what's really interesting to me is that, there is no one absolute, perfectly right, one size fits all kind of a marketing technique that is going to work for absolutely every single type of business out there. And I would be lying through my teeth if I told you that. One of the things I see a lot of, especially here in the online world, is I heard that Facebook ads are really good. Well, it depends, right? I've had people who come to me to do lead generation through Facebook ads, specifically like realtors and mortgage brokers. And so one example is, here's where the ads don't work perfectly. So if you want to do ads for lead generation, a significant percentage of the people who give you their information, their phone number, their email address, etc., tend to give you bogus information when you request it on a lead ad. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that lead ads only have a very, very short half-life. So people will enter their information and then they'll go off and they'll go do the next thing. So if you don't call them in the next 30 to 60 seconds, and I kid you not, it's 30 to 60 seconds, then you have pretty much lost that lead entirely, because they are gone. They've forgotten about you. They don't know about you anymore. So you're calling them 2 or 3 days later and they're like, who in the heck are you to even call me? Right? So, if you are doing ads over and over again, and you do volumes of ads and you understand that, okay, the fact that I'm getting a lead for $3 an ad to make a sale that is worth $3,000 to me is maybe worth it. Then what you can turn around and say, okay, it may be worth my time to chase the bogus ones down and the real ones and just keep going. And you have a certain commitment to it. But that doesn't make it the right mode of lead generation for everybody. And it doesn't even necessarily work for every single realtor. So that can really be a challenge. So what about a follow-up email series? I absolutely am a big believer in using a combination of techniques when it comes to marketing. So a lot of times people forget that they can use email, they can use text to follow up, and they can also use phone calls. So a lot of times we forget the text as being a really good form of following up with people. And there needs to be a follow-up email, a text, and a phone call almost immediately. What's really cool is that you can do the text and the email automatically in your system and have that be a wonderful thing. Now, that's not necessarily going to work for every single type of business out there, but it may work well for your realtors. It may work well for certain types of business owners. And you use phone and email, right? And like I said, a lot of people forget that, they can also text. One of the things that I learned when we were buying leads, when I was doing senior placement. So I owned a Care Patrol franchise for 3 years before my daughter's traumatic brain injury. And one of the things that we had to learn is that you have to make like 19 points of contact in the first 24 hours. You're a realtor, right? And very similar in the mode of communication. One of the things that we tended to forget early on was that, not just making the phone call was important, but also the fact that if you made contact via text, a lot of times people will respond back that way as well. You can say, hey, this is such and such. I'm a realtor. I just got your information. I hear that you're possibly interested in buying a house. I would love to chat with you soon. Here's my phone number. I'm going to be calling you too. So, looking forward to chatting. Part of what that helps with is that you've made contact with them via phone, via text pretty quickly, and they have your phone number in their system. One of the things that my phone does is if I don't have your phone number in my system, my phone never rings in the first place. It is some ungodly feature that Apple has put into my phone. So if I don't know who you are, I'm not answering the phone because I never even get the phone call in the first place. But I can tell you that I do get the texts. So if you're texting me, I actually see it. There is just some weird filtration, I think, that is going with the latest version of Android and iOS that is preventing people from being able to receive phone calls. So, you may also want to use text as part of your outreach. Not to say that any of this is perfect. A lot of times you have to reach out to people multiple times before you get a response, but it can help pretty dramatically with your closing rates. So, that's one of the things that I had to learn when I was doing senior placement was that we had to text people as well, not just phone and email. Now, a couple of years ago, that wasn't such a big deal. Now I think it's become more of a deal with some of these spam filters and everything else that happen with our phones. So, anywho, I hope that is a helpful response. Like I said, there is no one right way of doing marketing for people. It really depends on the person and their tolerance. I can give you another example. Since you are a realtor, I know somebody who buys leads very, very effectively from realtor.com. And she used to do Zillow as well. And she buys a ton of leads. And she closes an amazing number of transactions every single month. I mean, she is just absolutely phenomenal with buying leads. But I also know other realtors who exclusively market by word of mouth. So what they're doing is they have an entire database of everybody they've ever known, everybody at their church, everybody in their kids' Boy Scout troop, you name it, they've made a list and they're keeping up with it in their CRM, and they're sending you cards 3 or 4 times a year for your birthday, for different holidays, for this, for that, for the other, and staying in front of you and letting you know what they're doing, sending out market reports periodically, sending out emails and physical cards. And I know some of those realtors who stay as busy as they can possibly stand themselves because they follow through with that entire method of lead generation. It just depends on your personality as a business owner to figure out which methods of marketing work the best. Is it online lead generation? Is it building your own funnel? Do you have a team working for you if you're a realtor? So the first person I was telling you about has a team working for her, and she actually does lead generation for the people working for her. And what's really interesting is that she's taught her team how to use the lead generation. And I've actually seen other realtors who do their own lead generation instead of using something like realtor.com. So it's really interesting to see how different real estate realtors do their lead generation and how they grow their business. And it's really fascinating to see how their businesses are growing very, very different. Hey, Patty, good to see you. So, just because you're a realtor doesn't mean that you all market your businesses exactly the same thing. And what works for one person may not work for other people. And it is a process of learning and refining and perfecting what's going to work the best for you at a given point in time. The other thing too is that, don't ever underestimate the fact that there's a lot of changes constantly going on in technology. So I'll give you an example. Websites. If you look at a website that's 5 years old, it's going to look really, really long in the tooth. And Google has changed a lot of its rules around search engine optimization and everything else. So if your website was done before January of 2018, you may not be able to be found online. Yeah. So you say, yes, I returned to the business after a 6-year hiatus. I have a referral base. My clients are older and not ready to move yet. Exactly. It takes time to build up that referral base and those connections into the community, right? It's not like it's an instantaneous process where, you start your business as a realtor and then you turn around and you instantly have, clients. The fastest way to clients with realtors is by and large either referrals from family and friends, or lead generation, using, paid leads. And it can be through Facebook, it can be through all means and methods. I will say that if I'm doing Facebook ads for realtors, and we do a lot of ads management for people. So we do Google ads, we do Facebook ads, et cetera, et cetera. But if we're doing ads for realtors, a lot of times what we're doing, because the cost per click on Google is pretty high for realtors, is Facebook ads, and we're doing Facebook ads to Messenger. And yes, that's why you've gone with lead magnet email series. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get them into a longer email chat and they start to build with you. But you may also want to try like a chat bot, or also add in Facebook Messenger leads. That can work really, really well for realtors, especially if you can respond quickly to messages, because sometimes you can get people to enter their information into a chat bot and you can actually use that as a lead generation thing. I have seen one of my clients who has done lead generation that way. And a lot of people who do rent to own for realtors, there's a lot of investment companies out there that have this kind of rent to own option. And they are super duper phenomenal about, getting leads through Facebook Messenger. Like we're talking $6, $3 to $6 a lead, with a crazy conversion rate. It's not perfect, but if you look at the cost per client that you actually acquire, it's pretty reasonable, especially when we know how much, it can cost and how much time it can take. Beth says, I get all my leads from referrals from my circle of influence. And because my husband is Lebanese, that circle includes all Middle Eastern community in all of the Dallas DFW area. I know Arabic, and knowing their culture has been an awesome organic network of infinite leads for me. Absolutely. And that's one of those things where those connections into the community really, really helps your business, because what you're going to see is, you have the opportunity to really connect with different circles and different spheres of influence when it comes to your business. So the more people you have the ability to connect to, especially if you have a vast social network, or if you have a unique social network like you do through your husband, I think that really, really can help. One of my kind of odd networks is that I was a Girl Scout leader for 16 and a half years. And that really helped me get started in business. And then once I started getting introductions that way and more into the community, that really helped my business grow also initially, especially with my home care and senior placement businesses. I was doing less of that once my daughter had her TBI. So there was definitely like a cutoff. There's definitely a half-life of connections, but I will vouch for that organic network being incredibly powerful. Very cool stuff, guys. So when I say that there really is no one size fits all in business, the answer is usually it depends. One of the most powerful things I learned at Duke was the phrase, "it depends," is the right answer for almost every question that you have in business. So I hope that y'all have a great night. It's 11:15. I've got some deliverables I need to get done for clients. I'm also doing the last couple of days of bonuses of the Build Your Tribe Challenge this week. So I am lurking on that and working on that. Yeah. Thank you, Beth. So she says, but I really want to pivot or to organically grow leads for made you smile back and grow this online business. So I'd love to hear about your philosophy on using different marketing strategies. Absolutely. And a lot of it is, in the same way as you have built your network within your husband's Lebanese culture, and people seeing the value of what you offer. Here you're offering people something of value. They see what you're offering and then they interact with you. So yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for the Psyche card. We will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.